Welcome to Podlygamists, the Sisterwives rewatch podcast.
We sit down each week and recap an episode of TLC's longest-running reality show, following the Browns, a Mormon polygamous family originating in Lehi, Utah.
I'm Samantha Kaiser.
And I'm Hailey Graff.
And this is Podlygamists,
Season 17 trailer reaction.
Cool. Wow. So what a out of the blue thrill that arrived on our doorstep on Monday.
Yeah, I think it was Monday, right?
Yeah. So many things to say, but first of all, the release, in case anybody missed this, the start day of season 17 is actually September 11th.
Yeah, we were thinking it was like 2 weeks
I don't
later.
know why, but that's a thrill. It's like almost a month from today. So right? I can't wait, and it looks amazing. What was your...
We're going to be on the edge of our seats watching
that trailer. I could watch it again and again, like goosebumps. What was...
I think I've watched it at least 4 times now.
Yep. And it's long. It's a really long trailer.
I know.
What's your first, takeaway? Like, what's your immediate reaction overall?
Well, so I remember I chatted you this, and we'll just start light.
Sure.
Because it does get pretty heavy. But my first takeaway was like, oh my god, the music. And you did text me and you were like, man, it's like some kind of action movie music.
Drama.
Very dramatic.
Yeah, high, I don't know if they ever put this much production value into a trailer before. I feel like usually it's the same stock music that you and I use. This was
right? You can find on Adobe.
There's a score for this.
Yeah. They've got the orchestra going.
Yeah, I wrote that it almost was more like a trailer for a new season of Grey's Anatomy or something, where it's there's shouting, there's "I loved you" or whatever. It's just so intense.
Yeah.
Okay, so should we do? So I have a few questions and whatever, but should we just do a walkthrough of what all we saw, maybe, or what first?
Yeah, maybe just summarize what we saw.
So again, number one, the music. I can't put too fine a point on how much drama that music brought.
It set a different tone.
So yes,
because that's what we talked about. Where we are now in our rewatch is season 3, and yes, they've moved to Vegas and they've had some struggles and stuff, but it's still pretty light. It's
all very cute.
This is a different tone.
It's all very cute right now, and I mean, right now where we are in the rewatch, and this is not. It is real life drama happening.
Mm-hmm.
I think the thing that sets the tone off, the first thing that jumped out at me that I wrote down was, because of course we all know now, it's public knowledge that Christine left. Mm-hmm. And she was basically gearing up to do that at the end of last season, and she finally put out a statement, basically,
oh, did she?
A while ago. Just saying, me and Cody have decided to go our separate ways, blah, blah, blah. It was just a little, notes app screenshot on Instagram that she put out.
Yeah.
So, but this is where we see the actual, she tells the family, it looks like we see her tell the family, we see the family react. All of the wives have so much more real emotion than what I feel like we ever see all at once, at least.
Mary especially, I thought.
Mary, yes, but also we'll get to it. There's a different one that jumped out at me. So the first thing that Christine says to camera in her little kind of interview, that they show, is, I feel like to Cody, Robin is more important. And it's that's kind of the gist of the last 10 years, right?
Right.
And we see a clip of a very authentic looking sit down between Christine and Cody. Dinner table, emotional, tears, and the camera's just there. It's got to be, 3 feet away from them?
I can't imagine having a conversation like that about probably ending my marriage in front of the camera crew.
They live their life in front of the camera crew, so, I think only because they've been doing...
I guess she did give birth in front of a camera crew, so...
Only because they've done this for 12 years now, I think it's possible that we got this kind of content, because we supposedly, and they mention it even where we are in season 3, they're starting to have some relationship stuff between Christine and Cody, but it's very they comment on it, but we don't see it. We don't see the
Yeah.
struggle. They just talk about it in like the one-on-ones later, so that's how we know it's happening. But this is like we're really
Yep.
seeing the day-to-day
Fights and
crumbling of this,
unhappiness and
yeah, of this, which I think is only because
mm-hmm.
they've had cameras in their face for 10 years. Otherwise, no one would be that comfortable and be authentic in front of the cameras like that. Like it may be
Right.
a little more scripted almost.
Mm-hmm.
Janelle, um, of course, I feel like it's more of an inevitability at this point. That's her. Not surprising. But something.
And I feel like she's probably, given how close we've seen that Janelle and Christine are,
No.
still even
Mhm.
today, knowing that Cody and Christine are done, but Janelle and Christine are still hanging out and still friends. So I feel like she probably did confess some of that stuff to her more and like confide in
Yep.
her more. So it probably wouldn't be a huge shock to
Yeah,
Janelle.
it seems like it's not a relationship that I really like saw at all until the most recent years. I feel like, I don't know, they just have a similar,
Mm-hmm.
they both have like five-ish kids. They've both been in their marriage for a
Mm-hmm.
long time. They just have a similar, like same age kids, similar trajectory.
Yeah.
But because Christine was stay-at-home mom and Janelle was working mom, like I don't know if they like were
Yeah.
together as much. And now they really seem to have like a really nice, sweet friendship. And they do a lot of things together, even though they live across
Yeah.
states from each other. But
Yeah.
okay, the person that struck me was Robin in this. Yes.
Really?
Something about her tone and her type of emotion that she was showing felt so different to me than what we see, especially in season 3. Season 3 is such a cute, innocent, very still shiny surface of Robin, I think. And this felt
Mm-hmm.
like she actually was, and I don't want to say she's not actually feeling. I think she's easily emotional often, but this felt like just a truer, deeper thing that was happening. I don't know what it was. Her voice just wasn't her same. It was deeper. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I can see that. Like it wasn't, because she is kind of, you know how we have our customer service voices?
Yes, right.
She's maybe done a little more of that in the earlier seasons for obvious reasons. I totally would
Mhm.
too. So yeah, I think it's probably something kind of similar there, that maybe the customer service persona is off and that's like a just raw feeling emotions.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the part where she looks to Mary and she says, she's just like, hang on with me, okay? And they're both emotional. And Mary's like, I am. Like, it's like this.
The
And I'm
way
just like,
Mary said that though was like, for me, that part hit me with the way Mary said it, because it
yeah.
felt so like, I am, but I don't know how much longer I can, was my impression. And I could be
Yeah.
reading into that just because I feel like but like it just seemed like I'm hanging in, like, but
Yeah.
not super
They're
strong
not
grip.
very convicted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
And again,
yeah.
I mean, who knows? Maybe watching it, I'll feel something different, like in context, watching
Yeah,
that.
context is going to be
Because
everything.
obviously, this is a trailer meant to make you very emotional and feel a lot of things.
Mhm.
So, could be different when we actually see it air as the show. But,
Because in the other Robin, while we're talking about Robin, something that comes up towards the end is she's saying again in a confessional to the camera, I would never do anything to hurt this family. I wish people would see that. So I'm wondering if they say to her, like, are you aware of the present of like the perception of you that like kind of is the popular
hot wife that
commentary?
stole Cody away.
Sabin, Robin, she sabotaged everything. What does the nanny do? Like all these things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she has said that her family calls her the scapegoat, but she really is. Like and there could, and that doesn't mean she doesn't have. There's not some truth to her.
Role in that.
Maybe unintentional, but her role in what happened. So yeah, I'm super curious to hear the rest of that conversation too.
Right.
And then of course the pinnacle of the trailer,
Yeah.
the true like Grey's Anatomy trailer moment of like it looks like a family meeting outside still. So I'm wondering if we're still like very COVID.
I think we were still, when COVID was pretty bad. So
Yeah, they're like in a circle out on a patio, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
think I wonder if it's the same conversation where they show Christine say, I'm leaving Cody.
Could be different angle.
Looks like it, kind of, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then we cut to, so we don't know if it's the same time, but they cut to Cody is standing up and he is like screaming. And he's saying, I've gone 18 months being persecuted by my family for trying to protect them. My heart is broken. I mean, he's a drama. We know Cody is one for theatrics, like for sure.
He's
But
got a
this is
flair for it.
so, yeah. But this is like, again, it feels authentic. Like it feels like this is his real, like, just we've been saying like he is on the edge. Like he is just
The
losing it.
difference between him and our rewatch of being, I mean, like the episode we're going to talk about this week where he has like a moment of real frustration and he actually just starts like laughing at it.
Yeah.
And, you know, I won't get into that for this, but like
Yeah.
it was something that was a really annoying situation. And then he just started like laughing at it because that's all you can kind of do. He doesn't have that same, I don't know what the word is. Like he doesn't have that same disposition anymore. Like that's not his reaction to that. His reaction is to freak the hell out.
Yeah, 1,000,000% in like every way. And the other, man, the like tagline for this season, for the last few seasons, for him as like a person recently is he says, this feels like a movie. It feels scripted when he says to the camera, the message we've had to the world about functional polygamy seems so dysfunctional now.
Yeah,
Like,
just someone write that line.
isn't it? Doesn't it? Especially because we're living in these early years right now. It's so like reflective and like foreshadowing and like, but also of course hindsight. Like it's just this crazy.
It's
It
a
feels like
story.
scripted.
Yeah.
It's a
And I mean,
perfect
like,
story.
it's not, like, but oh my.
It's crazy. It was beautiful. It was like drama. I'm anxious. It made me anxious. It made me feel like for them and everything. But like looking at it as a drama that's scripted, if we could just take out the fact these are human beings with like their lives are in shambles a little bit.
Yeah.
It as like an entertainment value piece, I was just like, cannot wait. I
Yeah.
cannot wait to do this. And I'm just so grateful they are at this point where they will share this because
Right.
like that's not easy. Even there's so many
Because the
relationships.
hardest part of it, of that trailer, was obviously the build up at the very end of Cody full on screaming at Christine in front of the other wives, saying that she's made no effort to be friends with these other women or to have a relationship with them, and
He
that
said
that's
these
why
other
he's so
people.
pissed.
Yeah.
And
Do you
then saying
wonder?
all the sacrifices he's made to love her, I was like, that is so triggering. Like, that's some emotional abuse, gaslighty kind of stuff, man.
Well, I don't even know what he's talking about. So maybe I mean, like, I'd be curious to hear the rest of that too and find out, and probably more so in the one-on-ones or like the
Yeah.
confessionals. Like, so I know those producers like, so what sacrifices? And I'm
I want to
curious.
know.
Yeah. I don't think, I'm not under the, I think Cody, I almost have a hard time blaming Cody. I think this is a bad recipe. They followed a bad plan and like they were under the conception that it was, or they just thought it was going to work. It's polygamy. I think polygamy is the problem.
And Mary's lovely quote in there is, I would never blame polygamy. I'm not going to say polygamy is the problem. And I was like, oh, honey, like, tell me how
Well,
it's not, though.
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, again, the context of that could have been anything as well, but it's just,
I know. Like,
it's hard not to apply it all to the marriage that is falling apart because that's what they're making us believe, right? So who knows? It could be
right.
that could have been about like operating in the kitchen or something. Like you know how they always have this big beef.
I know.
about
They could have just been like, that's a great soundbite, Mary. We're taking it to the trailer.
with the screaming. Cody's this is the second because they cut up that like screaming into like 3 different sections through the trailer. Cody yelling.
I'm really hoping it was just the one time he was screaming and not multiple times because
it looked like it.
I hope because that otherwise I'm very like, dude, go to counseling, get it together, man. You can't just scream at people like that.
What he yells, again, I have it written down, is just the knife in the kidneys after all these years, the sacrifices I made to love you. Like, it's just like, again, with the script, like, I'm like,
I know, and kind of like the like pleading arms, you know,
Yeah,
and like I mean,
he's
just
really
so
like up on his feet. They're all sitting. He's up on his feet. He's just like half bent over. Like this
yeah,
whole. I'm just like, this is unbelievable that this happened.
yeah.
Mm, mm. I'm
Whew.
so excited. I'm so excited. I mean, again, I always wanted to make it clear that I get that this is a
Real.
horrible thing that they've been through.
Hmm.
But as a viewer of a TV show, I cannot wait to see this all happen. To see
Yeah.
what to under because I just want to know. I want all the info. That's
Hmm.
what it is. I want all the info of what went down.
Because you and I, well, you just said this the other day where we're like, we started this podcast, like saying like, oh, we kind of want to see, you know, what happened with why Christine left, you know, and rewatch and see the signs and stuff, which we totally have. But you're like, but mostly we really just wanted like a rewatch
Yeah.
of the show that we like and wanted to talk about it together, you know, and but it's turned out to be so much more of like a psychological study of a family and a religion and
Yeah.
way of life like that we really didn't anticipate, I don't think.
It's yeah. I mean, like it was kind of half-hearted. Like, yeah, we'll go back and see what happened. But then,
Yeah,
like,
you
no,
know.
I want an excuse to rewatch it. I want to have a podcast, and so that was like our little tagline for a minute there. But like,
Yeah.
I never would have guessed the clues and like the things, especially in
Mm-mm.
how appropriate the episode that we're talking about today is. Really, we start to explicitly get into.
Very fitting this episode we're
Yeah,
going to discuss this week. Yeah.
yeah. But man, I'm so excited. Um, did you have any other comments or notes that you wanted to throw in about that trailer?
Only other thing, I'm just going to show this here if I
Oh yeah,
can. For anyone watching, we've got prototype merch. I don't know how good you can see this, to be
this
honest, but
Podlygamists. You can see it. It's the so it's like a definition kind of like dictionary entry style Podlygamist with like a little script. The script below it is too small, and we have to it's and blurry, so well, it's a prototype. But it's exciting to see it in use.
right. So we are working on that, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just a process.
It is a process.
But yeah, oh, and then I guess I want to, for anyone watching, Hailey did such a lovely birthday gift for me this week of getting Christine Brown to do a cameo and wish me happy birthday. And Truly, who we all know is one of my favorites, showed up unexpectedly in the cameo as well. So that was some real fun. We got a
Yeah,
little intel of Logan and Michelle and
we did.
building a house, apparently. That's what Christine
Me too.
told me in my video.
It's got insider knowledge about a kid that's not even hers, so that's
Right?
always. Um. So yeah, it was cute. Highly recommend Christine if you're looking for a cameo.
Very
She's a
sweet. It was a nice long video. She like, and again, 2 for 1 truly popped up. So,
yeah, that's bonus. Can't guarantee there'll be a truly presence in the video, but
but I got
they,
lucky.
they
So,
knew they had a feeling your connection to her. So
right.
cool. All right. Well, can't wait to see what happens. We gotta actually jump over to recording an actual episode. So thanks for listening.